everyone. This is a quick guide how you can manually define your API endpoint right inside our editor. So if you go to one of the existing sections, or you can create a new section, you can just simply go to our widgets. You will see there is a widget API management. So click on that, and you will see on the bottom of the page, there is this widget that is being created. For those that are familiar with Postman, it's very similar setup. You can select your method and define your API. Or the same thing goes if I create a new section. And this is completely blank. So I'm gonna now add API management, defined my test API. And I'm gonna add here an authorization or whatever you have in header. I'm just gonna say bearer token. Just whatever you want to add in description. Additional properties, if you have any, you can just define all of them here. If it's required, just simply select this. The same goes for parameters. You can define all of them here. And for a request body, you can also add your case. Let's say, I don't know, first name. If it's required, again, you can put here, add additional properties, and also you can switch to code view. Instead of having to define all the values that you have, you can just simply go to code view and copy and paste your request if you already have it, like this. And you'll see if I switch to code view, that information will show up here. So again, that is great. If you want to add descriptions, you can leverage also our AI assistant to generate descriptions if you don't have one. And for responses, you can go to here, click on add response. By default, you'll see 200, and you can add your description here if you have for the response, like this. And then similar to request body, you can simply just define all the values here. And it'll all automatically show up here, or simply switch to code view, copy and paste your JSON response, and that's it. You can add as many as you want, and you can change the status code is like this. So add 400, 500, and you can even change the text. So meaning if you want to add additional like text example, right? So this is how it is. Everything that you do here will be automatically reflected in all these languages that we offer. You can add description here, and once you're ready, you can just publish it. Also, for those that are not aware, you can then use our CLI tool, and you can export this then into OpenAPI spec. So if you didn't have this endpoint defined in your OpenAPI spec, you'll have it once you export it into OpenAPI spec. I can also delete this and reference any of the existing endpoints that I have already imported. So in the endpoints tab, this is basically everything that you have imported before. You will see the source, date, and who imported. You can always access those endpoints. So for example, I might want to use this update customer here. So I'm going to drag and drop this request. So now that it replaced the response that I had, or definitions, from the one that I have from collection. Also a quick note for those that are not aware, you can always import your collections from here. If you select endpoints only, we will not automatically generate any of the sections, but you can just manually drag and drop like I just did and create your own content. If you want everything automatically created, you can select merge option. Will merge your editor changes with the API spec changes. Obviously, all of this can be automated through our CLI, GitHub Actions, Bitbucket, or GitLab integration. But if you ever need to manually do all of this, this is how you're able to control your API management, define new APIs, or change existing fields.